This is honestly something that a lot of people have benefited from, will continue whether they say it's a class 1 drug or not. So hello everyone, so today is my first video and I'm going to be talking about my experiences over the last 2 weeks using CBD. I want to talk about pretty much how it has affected my anxiety along with my touches of bipolar disorder. If you don't know what CBD is and would like to gain some insight, I've linked some articles and videos down below that helped me gain a better understanding of what it is and why people use it. I learned about it a few weeks ago and was curious to see if it would actually do something for me. I will get to that part later, but first I want to identify some of the symptoms that I associate with my anxiety. Then I'll talk about how the CBD has kind of helped me in each regard. A lot of the things that I have been experiencing include excessive worrying, heart palpitations, inability to breathe deeply or having shortness of breath, having irrational fears, little to no appetite, trembling or shaking, having insomnia, self-doubt or self-consciousness, feeling worthless or guilty, being irritable, having mood swings, and stumbling over your words. I've experienced all of these symptoms pretty much over the last few years, some more than others. It would depend obviously on the time of year, the time of month, what situations come up, whatever. Now, I take about 10 milligrams of CBD a day, sometimes more, sometimes less. I am happy to say that after taking only 10 milligrams of CBD a day, I have none of these symptoms. None of them are in my life anymore. I experience none of them. It's quite nice. I feel like I still think the same. I still have the same thought process, and being an anxious person predominantly, I have a lot of thoughts and they're racing usually, but it's much easier to kind of decipher which thoughts are the important ones and which ones are kind of irrational or paranoid driven or whatever, and I can kind of discard them as brain trash. I accept how my mind works and it just is, and I can move on. I'm not overly self-conscious or super paranoid the way I was, and pretty nice. I'm not worried about the future as much as before, just because I understand now and fully believe that I am doing everything that I possibly can to further myself and get to a better place. My appetite is completely average. I'm not overeating or undereating whatsoever. It's just very smack dab in the middle. I have noticed, funny enough, that my food does taste better though. At first thought I was kind of like it was kind of silly, but it makes sense if you think about it. It's nice being able to enjoy food again. Sleep is decent. I'm kind of a night owl, so the fact that my sleep is screwed up hour-wise is my problem. But when I do get to sleep, may it be 8 at night or 3 in the morning, I sleep a normal amount, 7.5 to 8.5-ish hours, so that's good. I have a much easier time talking to people. I'm not really stumbling over my words the way I used to. I feel like if someone were to just tap me on the shoulder and start a conversation with me in the middle of the store, it wouldn't be a huge big deal the way it may have been a couple weeks ago. Yeah, very easy to just kind of take in what people are saying instead of being kind of like paralyzed by the things coming at me, and I can generate better my responses. And yeah, overall thoughts and ideas are very clear. I understand myself. I have a lot of relief from many of the things that kind of dictated my life before, but I don't feel numb. I have my full range of emotions. I am completely sharp. Now, there are 2 main side effects that I noticed that in my mind aren't even really side effects. The first being, which I find also pretty funny, is that I have dry mouth sometimes. It's nothing crazy or significant. I kind of just keep drinking water until I notice it go away, but it is there, so I figured I would mention it just in case anyone else also experienced that. The other thing I noticed, I felt tired after the first day. It was around like 5 p.m. that I tried it, and I just remember driving home and I was like, wow, I'm like really tired. It wasn't to the point where I wanted to fall asleep or like I was like dopey-eyed and sluggish, but I just kind of noticed like feeling my tired feeling, which pretty much every day around 7 or 8 o'clock at this point, I do start to feel really tired, but that's like a normal thing that people feel that I never had in my life before because of my anxiety. I just kind of was like wired all the time, and And like, of course it wasn't always like that. I would go through periods throughout the year, and that's where like the whole bipolar thing comes in. But for the most part, I never really felt tired. I kind of just like was awake all the time. So having that feeling of tiredness every day is very new to me, but it's also a normal thing that people go through, and I keep trying to like remind myself of that. I try not to use it every day just because I don't want to build a tolerance up to it. I have a friend that uses 60 milligrams a day, and I only have the 3 milligram squirt bottle, which I have because I kind of like to control how much I can use. I know they make pills that have 10 milligrams in them, which is usually what I end up using, but some days I only like to use 3, and other days I like to use 10 or 0 or 15 or 20 or whatever. I try not to go overboard with my use of it just because I don't want to build up a tolerance to the product. I don't think that that's the best way to go about doing anything, is kind of abusing something. You're relying on it. It's just kind of something that I add to a whole bunch of things that help me keep sane. There are many things that you can do that can help you manage your symptoms of whatever you're going through. A lot of it has to do with mindset and the way you speak to yourself and the way you allow yourself to behave and go about things instead of feeding into some of the unhealthy behaviors that you may be feeding into. I don't live a perfect and complete life. It's still difficult and I still feel anxiety. It's not like everything is all right in my world and it's like a magical cure for anything. My success thus far has a lot to do with diet and exercise and the things I choose to spend my time doing and the people I choose to spend my time with and how I think and how I act and everything. I've tried to just be overall more positive, and that has gotten me a lot further than anything ever will or has. But as far as CBD goes, I feel good. I feel relaxed. I'm not panting, I'm not short out of breath, I'm not the way I was, and even though it isn't a magical cure for all of my problems, it has definitely helped my physical being get to a very good place. So I'm very happy about that. I think it's really stupid, this whole DEA thing, them scheduling CBD as a class 1 drug or whatever. Like, this isn't a drug. This is honestly something that a lot of people have benefited from and can and will continue, whether they say it's a class 1 drug or not. So that's all I've got for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time.